Mike McCool here with the Royal Examiner. In the studio with us this morning is Mickey Licklider, candidate for Warren County Sheriff. So, Mickey, welcome to the Royal Examiner studios. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Well, the race now is three people for county sheriff. We have Jason Poe and Mark Butler and Mickey Licklider. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the public's going to have a choice.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. We know we don't have to worry about an incumbent, and the incumbents are gone. So, this is a fresh race for whoever can make it. So, why did you decide to run? I mean, you're already retired, so we want to.
Well, I did. I was retired back in 2011, and I was only retired 4 months.
Right.
And they had an opening in the courthouse for court security, so I hadn't had enough of it. So I went back to work for them.
Yeah, that retirement gets. You get. My wife says, "You're under my feet. Go do something. Find something to do. Get out of here."
Yeah.
Either that or the honeydew list gets so long, and you say, "Well, I'm not ready to retire."
Yeah.
And I think that's it. If you enjoy what you're doing,
And I do.
and there's no reason to retire. So,
Yeah.
what sets you apart from the other candidates?
Well, all my law enforcement career, which is 32 years, have all been with Warren County, and I've worked pretty much with every division within the sheriff's office.
Mm-hmm.
And my feelings are that there's no substitute for experience.
Right. Well, and you know the ins and outs, and know the team, and the transition would be probably pretty simple to go. I mean,
Yeah, I think so.
you have what's something special? What kind of things you would change when you're elected?
Well, I'm a big proponent for community policing, and I want to make the deputies or get them training to be better communicators. Not to say that they're bad now,
Right.
but
Everybody has room for improvement.
this is true. And so we can get out talking with the residents and create a partnership with the residents to prevent crime and earn the residents' trust, working with law
I was
enforcement.
going to say trust is a lot of, is the really big issue. I think the public and people have to be able to trust our law enforcement officers, and also they need to be part of the community as well, where people know when they can trust them and come to them when they have an issue to take care of. I notice that it's kind of like the old sayings that they don't teach bedside manner to doctors in the medical school, and I'm sure they don't teach the same thing to police officers in the academy. I mean, it's
That's
true. That there's some of those bedside manner things that maybe we need to improve on.
Yeah.
And I think today in our culture and our society, we're talking about transparency. People want to know what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
and of course, law enforcement has to have some, secrets, so to speak. I mean, I hate to use that
That's
word,
true, to a
but
certain extent,
when
yeah.
things are under investigation, you're investigating. And sometimes the public wants to know. They just want to know. So that's something that's important too, because I think one of the, of course, as from the Royal Examiner's point of view, we feel that Facebook is not the way to release information to the public, and that's why you have media. And so that's one of our pet peeves with the FRPD and the WCS or whatever they call it, the sheriff's and the police department. Of course, we want to know. So,
Correct.
what do you think about working with the media? I mean, do you have a plan for that? You thought about it, or?
No, I haven't really thought about it.
Well, I'm going to tell all the candidates to get with the program and make it and work the media, and that's part of the trust that you build and the openness, I think.
Well, it is. It's part of the trust, and that was one of the things that I wanted to have on when I had my cards to get
Right.
information out to the people, is trustworthy, dedicated law enforcement.
Right.
And to me, the media is part of the community policing part, because you're talking to not only residents but businesses here in town, and the people want to know, like you said, and that's a plan I have.
Good, good. Well, we've asked the other candidates, we've taken a little flack because we ask harder questions to one than the other. Well, some of those questions come from the public, and they send us comments and things. So far, I haven't got any comments about you, Mickey. So I don't really know. I can't ask you about all those suspensions and speeding tickets and accidents or whatever else you've had over the last 32 years. I'm sure you've had your case of them, but so far the public isn't too concerned about your record. So it must be pretty good.
Yeah, it's. I'm proud of my record that I have, and it's been a clean record, and it's. I'm proud of it.
Good. What else you want to talk about as far as the sheriff's candidate? Little things you're going to do a little different. I mean, you got some vision, I know.
Well, I want the office to learn to do more with less. And it's all part of the community policing stuff. We have half the area of like Fairfax
Right.
does, and we only have 71 deputies here, and we have 200 miles of state maintained roads that we have to take care of and patrol, and besides all the other issues that we're dealing with, school safety for one.
Right. I noticed that obviously the sheriff has a responsibility with the courthouse where you're working now. That's a duty that I don't think the public really realizes. I know they take a lot of flack sometimes because they're not like the town police as far as patrolling on an active basis. They're pretty much responsive over the years because probably limited of staff. 71 officers seems like a lot for the county, but when you divide that up in 24/7 and you start dividing it up in shifts, that's really not that many people per shift per day, is it?
No, it's not. It's not. And of course, each division, that's investigations and civil process, court security, and
right. So
patrol.
Then that doesn't leave many left for deputies on the road, does it?
Well, the patrol division's the biggest
right.
that we have, of course, but it's
well, like I say, that's a 24/7 operation.
24/7 operation.
Yeah, that's it's just kind of hard to imagine, the logistics that go into running the sheriff's department. And I know the budget is a big thing now, and our taxes. That's the thing too. I think candidates need to look at. Are we going to be? Everybody says we're going to save money, but you're right. Doing more with less. I think that's the way that most things everybody's trying to do.
Yeah.
We almost have to because look at our labor market. I mean, they have a hard time recruiting people. We've heard here. Does the sheriff's department have the same issue at the schools and the police department as far as people come, you get them trained, and they leave?
At one time we did. I think we're maintaining and holding on to the last ones that we just got through the academy. But there for a while, we were a training ground. We were sending them to school, and they were graduating and stuff, and they were going elsewhere.
Right. And I think that's an issue out into, the grass is always greener, but you have plans on retention? What kind of things do you think we really need to do to retain some of these officers?
Better pay, and keeping updated with the equipment.
Right.
And stuff.
Well, I noticed too, and I talked to people about. The sheriff's department is not really any different than a business, and it kind of the top pretty much dictates how it goes to the bottom, and we're talking about treating people differently, and their attitudes that they have with management, and it goes back to trust. Can your officers trust the sheriff? So are you a person going to back up your guys? They know they can depend on you. That's the kind of things I think that we're looking for in a sheriff. What do you think?
Yeah, once I'm in office, I don't think they'll have a problem with it. Once they find out, we have a lot of new people
right.
that they really don't know me.
Right.
They see me when they come in the courthouse to go
right.
to court or one of the other offices down there. But once I'm in office for a while, they'll know that I got their back.
Good. Well, that white hair there, that stands for something. I mean, in past, the man with the white hair has a little wisdom. And after 32 years, you might pull out some of that wisdom, and I'm sure you've seen a lot of things here in Front Row, and you've seen a lot of things come and go, and there's something to be said about that continuity, I think, in our community. You're here, you know the community, you know what some of our issues are. Obviously, it's different when you're not at the top and you can't really make these decisions.
That's true.
But, I think you've seen a lot of things like that. Anything else you want to add?
No, I'm a volunteer with South Warren Fire Department,
Right.
The Fair Association, and the SPCA. I'm not just tied to. I have my 32 years with the Sheriff's Office, but I'm involved with other things in the county.
Right.
Get to see a lot of people and talk to a lot of people.
Well, it'll be interesting. We're still early in the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the election's not till November, so we're going to have a lot of time, and I'm hoping that we'll get together with the other candidates and where people can see, where it fits with how they fit in with their own personal beliefs and who they can trust, who they can't trust. And I think that's what it really boils down to. You can say a lot of things until you're in office. And as you well know, even though you've been in the Sheriff's Department 32 years, if you were the sheriff, you'll see things that you weren't even aware of.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
And that's what I always tell people. When you get on the other side, it does look different. We're a lot of armchair quarterbacks. You hear we're Facebook advocates. We have that keyboard, anonymity of the keyboard, and we'll type all sorts of comments. But when the shoe's on the other foot, that's what they say.
Yeah, it usually turns out that way.
It does turn out that way. Well, Mickey, I really appreciate you. We want people need to know and to come forward in the community to run for these kind of offices. It's an experience, a learning experience for you. It really opens your eyes and it helps the public as well. And I think there's a lot of other offices. We still have till June 13th some cutoff dates. We don't need any more candidates for sheriff, I don't think. We got 3, but hey, if that's something you want to do, June 13th is the cutoff date.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of other positions, council. The council, the board. The board of supervisors. Council's not running this year, but we have several seats on the board of supervisors. Commissioner of Revenue, Commonwealth Attorney. So there's a lot of things going on, and the public seems to want to be involved. But they all step back and wait for someone else to run, and it takes courage to go out and get on that ballot. And I appreciate all 3 of the candidates and all 3 of you that have done that. It's encouraging to our system and how things work. And good luck on your campaign. And please, we'll invite you back here in a month or so as things get moving and as things get around the community. And I'm sure you'll have some meet and greets scheduled here soon. And so stay tuned to the Royal Examiner. We'll keep you posted of those events for Mickey and the other 2 candidates, Mark Butler and Jason Poe. They all have activities, so we're planning to get together again with all of you. So I really appreciate you. All right, it's Mike McCool in the studio, and we're out of here.